Straight ahead on the Hawkeye Sports Report, Lisa Bluter reaches a milestone. Win number 600 of her career came on Sunday, and the team did it in impressive fashion. The men's basketball team also picked up a big win in Carver Hawkeye Arena over the weekend. We'll have the sights and sounds from what was an emotional night in Iowa City. And for the 5th straight year, at least one former Hawkeye football player will be participating in the Super Bowl. Find out which former Hawks are heading to New Orleans coming up on this week's edition of the Hawkeye Sports Report. Welcome into another edition of the Hawkeye Sports Report. We're going to kick things off with head coach Lisa Bluter on set here today. Coach, you played last week at Michigan State, kind of slipped away there towards the end. What was the challenge to your team after that game?
Well, a lot of it was just to try to get tougher, to be more physical, because Michigan State was very physical, and you cannot back down to any team in the Big Ten. And I just thought the last 3 minutes it wore on us, and we started getting more worried about that than the game itself. So kind of being stronger mentally as well as physically.
We had number 11 Purdue that came in here on Sunday, and I think the team really answered that challenge. And what a crowd that turned out, over 8,500 people, and it was Alumni Day too.
It was Alumni Day. You can see them as they come out of the tunnel there greeting us, which was very fun. And we talked about past, present, and future, how we're playing for the past for our alumni, and also for the future for the thousands of Girl Scouts that were there cheering us on as well, which was very fun. Great crowd against Purdue, but great win against another top 25 team, and that was our 5th straight top 25 win, and so that was kind of nice to get that against Purdue.
I know you always like to get off to a fast start in the game, and boy, did you ever get off to a fast start in this game. Here's Sam with some good defense.
Well, a steal and a layup is always a great momentum builder for you, especially when it's your first basket of the game. I thought our defense came out, and I thought Jamie Prinny said it very well, through the first punch.
Yeah.
We came out of this game, established ourselves defensively, and we scored a lot of points on out-of-bounds plays. In fact, 14 points on out-of-bounds plays in this game, which was kind of fun to see. I think our players really got their feet set for quick shots coming out of those out-of-bounds plays, and that was nice to see. Jamie Prinny, you saw her hit a 3 there. She has moved into 2nd place in all-time three-pointers made at Iowa. When you think of the great shooters we've had go through the program, that is quite a feat.
Absolutely. You got off to a 41-18 lead in the first half. How much did that really help propel you into the second half?
What was important, the second half, again, Purdue, we knew they weren't going to lie down and just give up on us. We know, you don't get to be 11th ranked in the country by doing that. So we knew it was going to be a battle. They intensified their defense quite a bit the second half, but we were still able to pull out a very good, convincing win against them. They struggled with our half-court press, and that was nice to see, too, is just being able to do some different things against Purdue.
How about Melissa Dixon? She's really provided a good spark for you off the bench.
Melissa Dixon has been outstanding. I say this all the time. Everybody would love to have a Melissa Dixon. As hard as she plays defense and coming off the bench with that three-point weapon like that is pretty amazing.
And, Coach, I know you're probably getting tired of talking about it, but win number 600, what does that mean to you?
It's one of those things, if you're around long enough, you're going to get it. And I guess that's the key, is being around, win enough games to be around long enough to eventually have the opportunity to get 600 wins. But let's think about your players, the past players you've coached. My husband Dave, I was pointing at him at that point for all that he's been there for him. And then the players, it's just fun to see them get excited about something. And that makes it special, is being able to share it with the people that you love.
Absolutely. Coach, you kind of shift your focus now to 2 teams this week that you've already played. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. We beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin. I think it gives us good confidence coming into this game. But Wisconsin's coming off a great win against Ohio State. So I think that'll wake our players up and get them refocused pretty quickly. And then going to Michigan, a team that beat us on our home court, I know I won't have any trouble getting our team excited to play Michigan there.
And that Wisconsin game, there's a lot of promotions going on that night.
A lot of things going on that night. First and foremost, Morgan Johnson bobblehead night. So everybody's going to want to have a bobblehead.
Yep.
We also have family 4-pack for $30. You get 4 tickets. 4 hot dogs, 4 pops for $30. Yep. We have ladies' night out, and so you can come in here and get some massages, I understand, manicures, get something done with your hair. I should be up there before the game. I wish I could be up there. So enjoy ladies' night out.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. And like she said, Iowa will be at home against Wisconsin Thursday at 7 p.m. and on the road at Michigan Sunday at 1 p.m. Coach, good luck.
Thanks, Nick.
We'll be right back after this.
We fight, fight, fight every day in the gym. We're going to fight, fight, fight every game on the court. Will you fight, fight, fight with us in Carver this season? Hawkeye women's basketball. Get your season tickets now. Call 1-800-IA-HAWKS or visit HawkeyeSports.com.
Like the women's team, the men's team had their shot at the top team in the conference on Saturday night. Wisconsin came to town for an evening showdown with the Hawks, and while the Hawks were looking for their first conference home win, it was also a night in which team and fans honored the life of former Hawkeye Chris Street. Let's take a look back at the sights and sounds from Saturday's emotional night in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
6:10 to go first half. Bohannon, pass stolen away by White. White, 1-on-2 the other way, takes it in himself, scores off glass, and a blocking foul on Rust. Rebounded by Marble. Wisconsin's shooting woes continue. Up-tempo on the Hawks inside, stuffs it through, does Aaron White. Bergeron to Evans, he's double-teamed, drives around McCabe, drives inside, shot blocked by Anthony Clemens. Clemens leads a 3-on-2 the other way. Clemens to the basket, to a trailing Basabi, ram jam, drives it home. Saturday night heavyweight fight.
Yeah, it really is, Gary. And didn't have a timeout coming.
Eric May with a steal. Look out below. Iowa by 15, 52-37. Final score, Iowa 70 and Wisconsin 66. A tremendously entertaining basketball game.
One last thing. I'm going to present the game ball to the Street family.
What a sight that was there on Saturday night. The Hawks didn't have a lot of time to prepare for their next opponent as they hit the road Tuesday night to Ohio State.
Where tonight, the improving Iowa Hawkeyes coming to see us to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Iowa began a stretch of playing 4 of their next 5 games on the road in Columbus Tuesday night. Iowa hung tough throughout the first half, but it was the second half that appeared the Buckeyes were going to run the Hawks right out of the Schottenstein Center. Iowa trailed by as many as 24 points in the second half, but McCaffrey's squad wasn't about to pack it in.
And the Hawkeyes just not doing a good job at the free throw line. 9 of 14, but they force a turnover. Basabi, McCabe driving. Oh, a left hand on the right side, plus the foul.
Junior Zach McCabe rattled off 7 straight points to spark a 20-5 Iowa run, pulling Iowa back to within 4 points with just a minute and a half left. But it wasn't enough. Iowa shoots only 50% from the free throw line, making 13 of 26 on the night, and that would be the difference maker as Iowa goes on to lose 72-63.
Well, we had some chances early in the second half that we didn't convert. We kept getting it to the rim, and they poked a couple free. We had a couple layups. At least we dug in defensively. We were pretty good there. Once we started going with the big lineup, we were able to get the ball inside a little bit, got to the free throw line, slowed the game down a little bit, and then tried to chip away at it. They were up 24 with a substantial amount of time, and a lot of times teams don't have the maturity or the patience to try to chip away. And that's what we did. We got it under 20, then we got it under 15, we got it under 10, got it under 5. If Whitey makes that last free throw at 63-60, it's a big play in the game. Instead of a 2-possession game, it's a 1-possession game. Who knows?
Let's now take a look at this week's Play of the Week.
This week's Hawkeye Sports Report Play of the Week comes from Saturday's big win over the Badgers. Anthony Clemens comes up with the big play on the defensive end with the block, and then in transition, Clemens to Melson Basabi and the foul, all part of Iowa's big win over Wisconsin. Clemens and Basabi, the Hawkeye Sports Report Play of the Week.
Clemens with a rejection. The shortest guy on the floor, Basabi brings it down.
The Iowa men's basketball team returns 8 lettermen, including 3 starters, from a team that made its first postseason appearance in 6 years last season. The Hawkeyes now welcome in a nationally ranked recruiting class of 5 talented freshmen. The Hawks are on the rise. Order your Big Ten single game tickets today. Call 1-800-IA-HAWKS or visit HawkeyeSports.com.
Welcome back. There were plenty of other teams in action over the past week. Let's take a quick look back at how they fared. The wrestling team earned a clean sweep over the weekend, beating Michigan 33-10 and Michigan State 27-12. However, as you can imagine, that's in the past, and Brands and Company now shift their focus to a big-time road showdown this weekend with a very talented Minnesota squad.
Neither team's ranked number one. That might be your point. I think it's still fairly important to people up there and fairly important to people down here. And I'm saying that kind of sarcastically. I think it's important. We want to get to number one, and this is the next step, and so we'll go do battle there. And so this is important. This is another step to. I mean, it's a Big Ten dual title, team title, and Minnesota's 3 or 4-0, and we're 4-0 in the Big Ten, and. The next week, we're not looking ahead, but we have Penn State, so it sets that up. I mean, it's important.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge, just like every single other one.
There's the border raw belt or whatever it is that J-Rob made, and I think we have it right now. I'm pretty sure we do. We beat them last year, but then when it came down to national duels, and they got better of us there, so it's something we need to rebound from and something we need to improve on. So it's exciting for us. It's going to be exciting for the fans to see where we're at. They're number 3 in the country. It's time to go out and make a statement.
Men's swimming lost a pair of duels over the weekend to top 10 teams Indiana and Ohio State. However, senior Jordan Huff was a bright spot, winning the 200 free and posting 4 top 3 finishes. The women's swimming team came out on top in their duel 196-102 over Illinois. Iowa won 13 of 16 events on the night, including 4 events where the Hawks took the top 3 spots. Women's gymnastics lost a heartbreaker in Columbus by just .725. Sophomore Emma Willis took home the title on vault, and sophomore Sydney Eyre took second place in the all-around. The men's gymnastics team competed in Chicago, where they took 5th place out of 6 teams. However, 3 Hawkeyes earned first-place finishes in the event. The track team was also in action for the second straight weekend indoors. The men's team placed 2nd and the women's team placed 3rd in the Adidas Classic at Nebraska. Iowa took home 5 titles in the event. Like last weekend, Josh Larney took home first in the 60-meter dash, and Clivens Delani took home first place in the triple jump. And finally, women's tennis has been in action down in Orlando, Florida. They got off to a tremendous start in their season. Ruth Seaborn and Maureen McCullough went 3-0 on the weekend in doubles play, and freshman Caitlin Hindmarsh went 3-0 in singles. With all that being said, let's now kick it to this week's Player of the Week.
This week's Hawkeye Sports Report Player of the Week is Jamie Printy. Printy scored 11 points Thursday and followed that up by tying for the team high with 15 points Sunday in Iowa's upset win over Purdue. 9 of those points Sunday came from behind the three-point arc. Printy moved into second place all-time in the Iowa record books for three-pointers made. She now only trails Lindsay Meter by 29. Jamie Printy, this week's Hawkeye Sports Report Player of the Week.
Hey Hawkeye fans, don't forget about Meet the Hawks Night with the Iowa softball team Tuesday, January 29th from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be held at the football indoor practice facility. There will be interactive stations to meet the 2013 Hawkeyes. You can also register to win prizes, and admission is free. We'll see you there on Tuesday, January 29th. Wrapping up here on the Hawkeye Sports Report, for the 5th straight year, at least one former Iowa football player will be participating in the Super Bowl. It was Kenny Awebama in 2009, Dallas Clark in 2010, Brian Bulaga won in 2011, and Tyler Sash won last year in 2012. This year, offensive lineman and Pro Bowler Marshall Yanda and special team veteran Sean Considine will be on the field for the Baltimore Ravens. Best of luck to those guys down in New Orleans. Finally, on the Hawkeye Sports Report, let's take a look at what's ahead this week in Hawkeye athletics. As we talked about, women's basketball will be home Thursday night at 7 against Wisconsin, and then hit the road over the weekend looking for some revenge against the Michigan Wolverines. That game against Michigan will be at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Men's tennis will host their home opening weekend against Illinois State at 4:30 on Friday and against Loyola Marymount at 11 a.m. on Sunday. The men's gymnastics team will head south to the Metroplex Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. That will be at 7 p.m. on Friday night. The women's gymnastics team will also be on the road at Penn State. They will take on the Nittany Lions as well as Pittsburgh and Rutgers. That will be at 6 p.m. Saturday night. Also in action Saturday, the men's and women's swimming teams will be right here in Iowa City. They host Northwestern beginning at 11 a.m. The track teams will be in a couple different spots over the weekend. They'll be in Ames at the Bill Bergen Invite and also in Champaign, Illinois for the Illinois Invite. Women's tennis will be in action at Iowa State at 4 p.m. Saturday. The wrestling team will also be in action on Saturday at 3 p.m. in Minneapolis against the nationally ranked Gophers. That will be a big-time matchup and can be seen on the Big Ten Network. And finally, the men's basketball team will hit the road on Sunday at Purdue. Tip-off slated for 2:36 p.m. That game will also be seen on the Big Ten Network. Best of luck to everyone competing this weekend. Thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the Hawkeye Sports Report.